Once upon a time, nestled in a serene valley surrounded by lush hills and gentle rivers, there was a quiet village named Elmsworth. In this village lived a young boy named Arin. Arin was gentle, curious, and full of dreams. He had a spark in his eyes that showed his love for beauty and creation. More than anything, Arin wanted to become a great painter. He would spend hours each day sketching scenes from nature, mixing colors, and trying to capture on canvas what he saw in his heart. But despite his passion, the world around him didn't see the value in his dreams. The villagers, practical and focused on survival, often dismissed Arin's art as childish and unproductive. "Painting won't feed your family," they would say. "You need to do something useful." With every word, Arin felt his confidence shrinking. Doubt crept into his heart like a cold wind. He began to question his worth, his purpose. "Maybe I'm not meant for anything big," he whispered to himself late at night. One gray morning, after another restless night, Arin wandered to the edge of the village, toward the forest where few dared to go. There, in a simple wooden cottage surrounded by wildflowers and vines, lived an old man known as Baba Vedanan. He was a figure of mystery and kindness, revered for his wisdom. People said he had helped many find clarity in their lives. When Arin arrived, Baba Vedanan was sitting on a carved wooden bench, his long white beard flowing in the breeze, his eyes closed in quiet thought. Arin hesitated, but then stepped forward and spoke from the depths of his heart. "Baba, I don't know what to do. I try so hard, but nothing ever works out. My dreams feel pointless. Does my life even have a purpose?" Baba Vedanan opened his eyes, warm and full of understanding. He gestured for Arin to sit beside him and began to speak in his gentle voice. "Let me tell you a story, my child. Many years ago, there was a small seed resting in the soil. It didn't know what it was or what it was meant to become. It looked up and saw the sun shining brightly, the river flowing joyfully, and the birds flying freely in the sky. The seed wished it could be like them. It tried to shine, to flow, and to fly, but of course it couldn't. It felt useless, forgotten, and broken." Arin listened, entranced. Then one day the clouds gathered and rain began to fall. At first, the seed feared the rain. It thought the rain would destroy it, but instead the water soaked into the ground and nurtured it. Roots began to grow. The seed didn't understand what was happening, but it kept going. The sun returned and warmed the earth, giving it strength. Slowly, the seed grew into a small sprout. Baba Vedanan paused for a moment, then continued. Seasons passed. The sprout faced storms, harsh winds, and days without sun, but it held on. It kept growing, even when it didn't understand why life was so difficult. Eventually, the sprout became a strong tree. Its branches stretched wide, its leaves gave shade, and its roots anchored deep in the soil. Birds built their nests in its arms. Children played beneath it. People found peace under its branches. He turned to Arin and said with a soft smile, "The seed never understood the plan, but the Creator did." The seed thought the rain was punishment, but it was preparation. The winds were tests, the sun was grace, and time was the teacher. Just like that, you may not understand your struggles today, but every drop of pain, every gust of doubt, is shaping you for something greater. Arin's eyes welled with tears, but they weren't tears of despair anymore. They were tears of awakening, of hope. Baba Vedanan placed a hand on his shoulder. "Your dreams, your setbacks, your efforts that feel unseen, they are not wasted. They are the roots. Keep painting, not for praise, not for recognition, but because it is the language of your soul. When you paint from your heart, you nourish your spirit. The world may not see it now, but one day it will." With renewed determination, Arin returned to his little home. He picked up his brush, not to impress others, but to honor his truth. He began painting the village as he saw it, vibrant, alive, sacred. He painted the hills with golden light, the rivers like ribbons of song, the faces of villagers carrying silent stories. And most of all, he painted Baba Vedanam, sitting beneath the forest tree, telling stories of purpose. Years passed. A traveler came to the village one afternoon, a man from the city with a keen eye for art and a heart open to beauty. He stumbled upon Arin's paintings hung outside his humble home. Captivated, the traveler asked to take a few pieces to a gallery in the city. What followed was beyond anything Arin could have dreamed. People in the city were moved by his work. They said his art spoke to something deep inside them. Soon, Arin's name became known. His paintings were displayed in exhibitions. People traveled from faraway places to see them. Some wept in front of his canvases. Others wrote letters, thanking him for capturing feelings they couldn't express. And then came the day when Arin stood on a grand stage in a hall filled with aspiring young artists. He looked across the sea of faces, some smiling, others uncertain, just as he once was. A girl in the front row raised her hand. "Arin, what made you keep going when everything seemed hopeless?" Arin smiled gently. "Because I believed there was a reason for my pain. I trusted that, even when I couldn't see it, God had a plan for me. And I want you to know, He has a plan for you too." The crowd was silent, the kind of silence that holds truth. And in that moment, something shifted for every soul in that room. In life, we often face moments of doubt where our efforts seem invisible and our dreams feel out of reach. It's easy to believe that our struggles are signs of failure. But like Arin's story, they might be signs of growth. Just as a seed must endure darkness, rain, and pressure before it becomes a strong tree, we too must pass through challenges to discover our true strength. The pain we feel now may be the very force that shapes us into who we are meant to become. Even when the world does not recognize your worth, keep nurturing your passion. Create, serve, grow. Not for approval, but because it reflects your soul. Trust that life has a bigger plan, one you may not fully see yet. Your time will come, not when everything is easy, but when your heart is ready. So be patient with the process, have faith in your path, and keep moving forward. Every step, even in the dark, is part of your becoming.